let's dive deep into each of these. How many of you are not familiar, have not used, or are not familiar with yellow letters from before? Okay, so a few of you are not. So yellow letter is a unique marketing tool. It's in your manual. Let me know what page. It's 2. No. What's that? No page numbers. No sugars. Wow. Joy. In fairness to Joy, I sent her this manual on, I think, Monday. So anyway, I'm sorry. It isn't. What's that? Second number is cut off. Okay. So it's between 20 and 30. So look for something that starts with a 2, and you'll find it. All right. So anyway, let's get back on track here. Yellow letters are a simple letter that, in fact, why not, instead of describing it, show it to you. Check it out. So it's literally handwritten. It's ugly as sin, right? But somebody read this letter. Tell me, why does this letter work? Because it's handwritten. How does handwritten help? Looks personal. Looks like in the envelope. I mean, it's a invitation size envelope. Okay, and the envelope it looks like Grandma wrote you a letter. Who doesn't read a letter from Grandma, right? All right. What else is that? What else about this letter was going to make it work well? It's short. It's not from attorney. It's not threatening. So saying it's not from an attorney, not from a bank. It's not threatening. Very important. So it's a lot of times we're doing business with people who are in a desperate situation. The last thing they want to hear is from some slick, slimy person who works in a slick, shiny building, right? So this is very approachable. And this says, I took my name off the letters because I didn't want it on there. But hi, my name is Jim Zaspel. Kim and I would like to buy your house. Find a female name and use it. If you're a guy or if you're a lady, find a male name and use it. I don't care if you're married, related, or not. It helps, okay? If you got somebody on your staff, a virtual assistant, because then they think it's a husband and wife drove by and they want to buy the house. It just makes it work. I don't say Kim happens to be my mom's name, by the way, but I picked the name and it works. So we want to buy your house. Please call us at blah blah blah. Now somebody mentioned to me earlier too. Actually, Anthony, I think it was you. I had Anthony send me a sample yellow letter he used, and I looked at it. It was good. However, you mentioned something yesterday that you are getting calls and emails. Notice what is not on this letter. Emails. Why is that? Because that's easiest. People want to do, it's easy, right? But then what are they going to do? Think they're going to whip out their phone right away and send you an email? No, they're going to get to it. Maybe someday, right? So we don't I want a phone call because I can control that, right? And you get an email, they want to do research, and it's going to be a lot longer process. So it's a handwritten letter. Samples in your book on page 20-something. And so that's the letter we send to most lists, which I'll list later. Then for probates, it's a little bit different letter. I'm going to read it to you. Dear Beecham, hi, my name is Jim. I realize this is a difficult time for you. Why do I do that? It's a probate. I'm showing empathy, right? Or sympathy, whatever that word is. But I understand that you are involved in the sale of property at, and I would name a property where the deceased person lived before they died. Okay? So I'm showing empathy, but kind of cutting to the chase. I used to send the first letter, I used to send that on to probate list, and it didn't go so well. A little too crass. I would like to buy that property. Please call me ASAP. Phone number. Okay? So it's a different letter. That's the letter we send to probate list. Okay? In your book, you've got example of postcards. You can use mail merge to populate these different fields, right? Attention! I want to buy your property at address. As is, make you a fair cash offer and close on the date you choose. Okay, so we send this postcard 2 weeks after we send a letter, right? So we send, right now, 2,000 mail pieces a week. So 1,000 of them are yellow letters, so the first time around, and then 2 or sometimes 4 weeks behind that, we're sending postcards to that same list. Okay, we try to take out the respondents to it as well. Okay. And here's the rear, the address information. And again, it's got their property information on there. Man, if you get something that says urgent notice with your house address on it, you're going to at least look at it, right? And if you're interested in selling, we actually get a higher response rate on our postcards than our yellow letters, believe it or not. It's 100%, because in the direct mail, there's a few things you got to consider. One is the open rate, the received rate, how many of them are getting received, right? So you got to make sure your lists are good. And you always want to monitor, so when you mail out 100 postcards or 100 letters, how many of those are getting kicked back to you undeliverable, right? If that number exceeds 5 to 7%, there's something wrong with your list. All right, so that's one metric you got to measure. Next, you got to measure is it's one consideration rather. It's hard to measure it. Is the open rate? What's the open rate on a postcard? 100%, baby, 100%. What's the open rate on a yellow letter? I don't know. Well, it's going to be pretty good, but it's not going to be 100%. Okay, so it's very important. So what is something else we ought to know about these postcards and letters? Who should we mail them to? You tell me. Vacant house owners, absentee owners. What else to hear? Out-of-state owners, ugly house owners, probate, expired listings. What else? Vacant, yeah. Anybody else? Divorce, yep. And we're probably missing like two of the most motivated. Estate, yeah, probate, estate, same thing. Yeah. Expired listings, Jim already said that. Pre-foreclosure, there we go. What is pre-foreclosure?